All right, view channel. I didn't send out any notifications, but I think we'll be fine. I think we will be A-okay. I'll have to pick up watching this flight simulator action go down later. Hey, Devon, can you talk real quick so I can hear audio on YouTube from you and YouTube, Barry?
Testing. Audio. Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Apple is really yummy.
You sound quiet on there,
Who does?
Devon. You do.
Am I quiet still?
Let me see if it.
Or are you just predisposed to ignore my voice? Is that what it is?
That's possible.
That could also be it.
I mean, even on YouTube, it just. I don't know why. I don't know why. Like, you sound fine coming. Like, I can hear you fine on my end. So when we record, it sounds okay right now.
Uh-huh.
But listening through on YouTube, you just sound quieter than Barry and I don't know why.
Let me adjust the volume. And that should make a difference.
Let me go back to it and unmute it.
Testing. 1, 2.
It's apple that I'm going to bite in a second. Delicious. See it? Haha.
Crunchy and munchy apple. Get them dice. Get them dice. I received
It sounds good as long as you speak right into it. Mike, discipline.
I received the Rick and Morty Dungeons and Dragons module for Christmas.
Oh, did you really?
I did.
I've never watched the show.
It's looks like it would be pretty fun and funny.
Okay, I am ready to go. So I am going to click a couple buttons here. I'm going to turn this on so you guys can hear it. Then I'll turn it off so you don't have to hear the music. Devon, are you ready?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Welcome to another episode of the Shut Up and Roll for Initiative podcast, a live play Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign from the Shut Up and Respawn network. Find us at www.shutupandrespawn.com, join our Discord channel at the links provided on the website, and consider supporting us at patreon.com/SUARFI. Now it's time to shut up and roll for initiative.
Hello. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Great. Now let's regroup, out of harm's way, and form a plan.
You're either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
So we heal, now, as a team. Or we will die, as individuals.
Kira, it's time.
A day may come when the courage of men fails, when we forsake our friends and break all bonds of fellowship. But it is not this day. An hour of wolves and shattered shields when the age of men comes crashing down. But it is not this day. This day we blitz all night.
Master Chief, you mind telling me what you're doing on that ship?
They're finishing this fight.
Spears shall be shaken. Shields shall be splintered. A sword day. A red day! Day when the world declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We're going to live on. We're going to survive.
But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
Well, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Shut Up and Roll for Initiative podcast, where we play Dungeons and Dragons. And we do it because we have a lot of fun. And I am one of the players. I am Steve. I play Shield, the Lexodon Paladin, and we're here with Devon. Devon, say hi to all the people.
Hey, all the people, how are you?
And you can tell us who you play.
I play Fingalore, the most amazing elf ranger hunter that doesn't just randomly shoot people just for fun. I might not
There's a
like
method to your madness, is
gnomes.
that what you're going to say?
Sometimes I pre-plan things, sometimes I don't, and you never know what's gonna happen.
Very cool. And then we're here with Barry, our DM. Barry, you can introduce all your characters. No, you don't have to do that. So we're back with another episode. Michael is not here because he is sick, and instead of just pushing off the podcast for another week or another 2 weeks, we decided to just kind of roll with it and see how it goes. So Barry, why don't you take us away? Give us a recap, and then let's hit it.
When last we met, we had your characters had completely ended up gutting out the Butterskull Ranch, had rid it of a bunch of orcs that had ransacked it. You were able to rescue Alphonse from the grip of the orcs. You also rescued his cow. He was very grateful to that. Then you decided to head on your way to find the Falcon's Hunting Lodge. He is a ranger who is on the road to the wood mill,
Logging camp.
the logging camp that the people in Phandalin rely on to be able to build and to fortify their village and their town. For some reason, the shipments of logs have stopped, which has been a grave concern to everybody that lives there. You, being who you guys are, have decided to go figure out what is going on. Alphonse has actually decided to accompany, just to see what's going down. The ranch has kind of been left a little derelict and destroyed, and he's interested as well to see what's going on at the logging camp. You find yourselves ready to hit the road, and you also just recently leveled up, so hopefully there's going to be some new abilities and options thrown out there during these next few sessions.
We did
So-
all the levels.
All the
levels.
things.
Our characters are now level 4. So Alphonse, he is tending to Petunia, his cow, out in the outer, outside of his ranch and getting things ready. He's basically waiting on you guys, saying he's ready to hit the road just as soon as you are.
Okay.
I'm ready to roll.
So I'm ready to roll also. So Shield wakes up and he's feeling lucky. So I'm feeling lucky today, gentlemen. Let's get on the road. Let's go figure out what's happening with this logging camp. If there's more orcs there, which I imagine could be the only reason that the logs have stopped coming into town. Let's go end us some orcs again.
I like
He
it.
yeah, he's throwing some saddlebags on Petunia, and he is ready to start heading that direction. He asks if you guys have collected enough rations out of the cupboards. We don't want to leave anything behind. Make sure you have, there's obviously plenty in my pantries, so let's be sure we don't go ill prepared.
So I have quite a few rations. I guess we could search for rations.
You can if you wish. He just wants to make sure you know that you have enough, because if you're ready, he's
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah, I think we're good. I also have ration.
Yeah, where does it say rations here? Inventory.
I have
Inventory.
20 or 40 pounds of ration.
Okay, you've got plenty. You have plenty of rations then. He just wanted to be sure nobody was going without, since he's essentially abandoning his ranch for now, and he doesn't know exactly when he'll return. Might as well sneak away with as much as you possibly can.
My rations for some reason aren't showing up. I don't know why.
Inventory.
No, they're not there. I'll add them in later. Because I bought a lot last time we were in town, so.
Yeah, you bought.
Gotcha.
Yep, I'm ready to go.
Okay.
Barrick, are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
You're not Barrick.
Oh, I thought you said Finn. Sorry, my bad.
It's similar.
Yeah, Barrick nods. He looks a little ill around his ears and a little green and around the gills. Doesn't say
I
much.
told him to
but
stop eating trash, but he really likes eating garbage.
a little trashy. All right. The he gets on the road. He knows the way very well. Has no problem. He knows this whole area of the forest like the back of his hand, and starts heading towards in a kind of a northwest path back up away around from the from his ranch, and he begins to hit the road. Everybody, give me a perception check.
Natural 20.
16 for me.
Okay. As you guys are thumping along on the road, making your way down to our north to the logging camp, and hopefully to Falcon's lodge itself on the way. Shields, you get a kind of that sensation where the hairs on the back of your neck just shoot up, and as you guys are heading down the road, you notice off in the distance a couple of travelers, but they look like they're under some duress as they are running as quickly as they possibly can in your direction. They have some pretty terrified looks on their faces, and they are definitely in duress. They look like just regular common people in some pretty nondescript clothing, dropping some satchels and packs along the way, and are just not. Doesn't seem like they're doing very well. One seems to be a very young girl, and another older man, seemingly a father, and they are heading in your direction as quickly as they possibly can.
I say, Fen, Barrick, eyes up. Something's happening.
All
And
right.
then I'm going to move up to meet them in the road. If they're running towards us.
They are running towards you. As you're running up, suddenly from the sky, a blood-curdling screech / roar like you have never heard before catches your attention, and when you glance up, Shield, there, finally in the flesh, after all you've heard about, is the silhouette of very distinguishable dragon
Oh.
circling the sky, and heading towards, like it's trying to dive in front of these people. As it's running, or as they're running, suddenly it just kind of dive bombs and crash lands in this really loud and just horrendous thud. Actually, shaking the ground a little bit as it slams down in front of her. Everybody, shut up and roll for initiative.
Ooh. A dragon in the midst. I got
It
a 9.
is Cryovane.
At 13.
I don't think I have anything plus on my initiative. Nope, just 9. I'll roll for Barrick.
One roll for Barrick. Okay.
Barrick rolled an 8, and on initiative, Barrick has a +3 on 8, so he rolled an 11.
I'll give him. What's your agility, Barrick?
Barrick's agility.
I'm sorry, Fen.
is...
What's Fen's agility modifier? Is it a +2?
Agility.
There's agility or dexterity?
Dexterity is the word I'm looking
Plus
for.
4.
+4. Okay, so you're gonna go first then, before him. So we'll knock him down to 12 or to 12. Yeah.
I mean,
Tell
I
me
had,
you can see
I
the
had
turn order.
13, so
Yeah, you had 13. So
I can see.
he rolled a 13 as well, but we're gonna give you a dexterity bonus on that.
Okay.
So is
I
everybody seeing
only
the map
s-
and the turn order?
I see the
Yep,
map.
we're seeing the turn order.
The only thing on the turn order, though, is the dragon.
Oh, correct. Turn order is probably still stuck on the last one.
Because what I don't do is I build you guys new people, but then I don't,
Do you have to build new people each time in roll 20?
No, so what you do is you bring the tokens onto every map, And so your tokens, even though I assign it to you as to control, I'm not right-clicking and adding the turn on the new token. So I just need to remember to right-click and add the new token. What was yours again? 9 shield.
I rolled a 9 and Barrick rolled 11.
Right. Okay. Is that looking better?
Yep. Perfect.
Good.
Okay, we're gonna give old Alphonse a whopping 10.
Man, I'm going last.
Okay. Finn, Cryovane has crash landed in front of these peasants and is now between you and them. Peasants, not pheasants.
Okay.
There's pheasants on the.
You know,
Peasants have
birds on the
scattered
road.
into the air.
I'm really good at speaking English, so
So let's see. 25. I'm gonna move up to kind of like right here with this tree.
Okay.
About 10 or 15. I yell out those people to get back.
okay.
I also yell out to the dragon, "What do you want?
Okay.
Why are you here?" You know. So
Gotcha.
if he understands me, I have no.
So his head whips around, and you see in his eyes there's definitely an intelligence. He's not a beast by any means, but there is like more of a cruel look to his intelligence, a little more of like almost more as serpent-like as you could possibly be, but with that more light of intelligence behind the eyes.
Gotcha. It doesn't tell me anything. It gives me a look.
He just glances at you, right? Now he's very aware that he is, that you're there as well as his quarry.
Jill.
But you asked the question, right? Why are
Yeah,
you
I said,
here?
"Why are you here?"
Simple. To eat. And his head whips back around to the villagers.
Well, we can't let you eat the villagers. Go somewhere else, or we'll be forced to fight you.
He's ignoring you at this point.
Jill, what should we do? Should we attack him?
Shoot her! Shoot her!
Shoot her, huh? All right.
I was waiting for that.
Well, you got it. Okay, I am going to. One down. I have a sharpshooter feat
Okay.
for my character. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use my sharpshooter ability, and this gives a -5 to my attack roll. But if I hit, it gives
-5?
yeah,
Oh,
gives me negative
okay.
5 penalty to the attack roll. But
Okay.
if I still hit, it gives me a +10 to the damage.
Nice.
Oh,
I do attack with my bow.
can't be that hard to hit a dragon, right?
My long distance.
Can't
Never
be
know.
that hard.
Never know.
Famous
I
last
got
words.
20.
20 not nat.
No, not
That
natural.
is-
Just
Yeah, that is definitely going to hit. The kind of your surprise and satisfyingly, it impales right between some scales, and he lurches and growls, and is not happy. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Oh wait, hold on. I forgot to -5. So I actually only got
Oh.
15.
Oh,
I mean,
should've
that
known,
was
I guess, when you
good. Would like to still hit, but I got to take -5 out.
said- This is significantly different.
Yeah.
The Hermione Granger turns her time turner. The arrow goes back into your hand and quiver, and when you release this time, it pings harmlessly off of his hide
Oh, 15 doesn't hit? Wow.
and lands harmlessly away in the dirt.
And I'm like, I yell out, "Shield, watch out! he might be a little dangerous. And
'Kay.
then I'm gonna move back a few feet over here. That's all my move. My turn.
Okay. Having had an arrow ping off of his hide, this makes him extremely unhappy. He's gonna whip around and turn his attention on those who seem to be assailing him and preventing him from a quick meal. Besides the fact you kind of see in his eyes even more wild hunger as he recognizes a nice fat bovine in your midst. He's going to rear back.
You gonna let him talk
With
to you about you like that, Shield? No, just kidding.
I'm an elephant. I'm not a cow.
I know it.
He's gonna rear back, open his maw, and suddenly a blast issues forth. Just this frosty, deep, dead cold of ice just comes spraying out of his mouth. So this is gonna be a cone of breath. Where is my tool here? So really, it's gonna hit it's gonna hit shield full blast. You're gonna make a Constitution saving throw, shield.
Constitution. I have a +1 on Constitution. That is a 9.
Okay.
But I'm gonna use one of my luck tokens, and I'm gonna re-roll that if I can.
Okay. You have a luck token.
So as my lucky feat, I have 3 luck points per long rest. So whenever someone makes an attack roll, an ability check, or a saving throw, I can use one and I can re-roll it. And then I can choose which die to use. So I'm going to do that now because I don't want to get hit by Ice Breath.
Sounds good.
So the second one is a natural 20.
A nat 20. Sweet. Okay, so you are going to save, and that you're only going to take 5d8s worth of cold damage.
5d8?
Mm-hmm.
Shut the front door.
Shut the front door. I gotta find more dice.
5d8? That's like a total of 40.
Yeah, so you just roll it, 5 times. Yeah.
which is adding is 105. Good job, Devin. That's math.
You don't have that many dice to.
Just roll one at a time.
That was a 1. Holy cow.
That is a 1. So there's 12, 15.
20.
Yeah, it's 20.
So Shaitan. So it's just half of that then.
Well, actually, that is half. So it would normally be.
Oh my gosh.
It would normally, yeah, that was the half. Okay, so ice encases shield up around his shield, up around his body, and even and doesn't falls short of Petunia. You actually save Petunia from the blast. There's a little bit of an embankment there, that kind of protects her from that. But have never felt anything like this in your entire life. It's not even cold. Cold would not describe what it is you're feeling.
Okay.
I told you to watch out, Shield.
All right. It is Barrick's turn.
Okay, Barrick sees this happening and he says, we need to give him the cow. We need to give him the cow and run.
Just give him the cow.
So Barrick is going to move over here to the trees with Finn, and he's going to bonus action hide.
Okay.
So he's hidden over there in the tree.
Alrighty.
And he's not going to shoot at your dragon.
Okay.
Because Alphonse, hide.
Alphonse is going to do the same thing, having no real natural defense. He has a fairly decent longsword, but there's nothing beyond that. He tries to drag Petunia up the embankment and behind as well.
Barrick says, "Leave the cow, Alphonse."
We must sacrifice the cow to save our lives.
Barrick doesn't want to take one shot at it.
At the dragon?
Uh-huh.
So Barrick is actually going to assess the situation. He's going to shoot an arrow at. Is Alphonse still dragging Petunia up the embankment?
He is
Um,
frantically.
Barrick's gonna shoot the cow.
Oh. Okay.
That is
You're gonna roll the hit. It's your
so it's plus
it's your
6 to
D20
hit.
plus 6. Yep.
So that is a 16,
That's definitely gonna hit.
and that is 1d6 plus 4,
4. Mm-hmm.
and that is 5 damage.
Okay. You impale her right in the shoulder. She falls, slumps down, braying in absolute pain. The dragon loses its mind hearing the wounded animal.
Okay.
Shield, it is your turn.
Shield is so. Am I frozen in place?
You're not frozen. No,
Still
you're not
frozen?
frozen. You're not frozen in place. You haven't been completely encased, but you do notice that the dragon has whipped its head back around to the girl. It's pissed. There's anger in its eyes as it whips around and just begins to charge at her. It looks like it's rearing up, ready to charge her.
Shield doesn't know what to do. He just got frozen.
Tell him
not
to
stuck in
come get the
place.
cow.
You're not stuck in place, and you see that this thing is getting ready to bear down on this innocent girl.
Okay, so Shield is going to sacrifice his life apparently. I am going to let's see, that's 5, 10, 15,
So
20,
upon
25.
having the thought of essentially you're going to need to sacrifice yourself to save this girl, you feel your shield quiver and quake, and you have this inexplicable desire to throw it.
Okay. I
You
throw
you have there's there's the light that kind of enters your eyes. There's almost like the symbol of your god in your mind, and you just this tingling sensation. I mean, you're there pretty much practically frozen in place. Might as well be. The only thing you can think to do is you just feel this sensation to throw it.
Okay, I'm gonna throw my shield, and I'm gonna use my 1 point of inspiration. I had 4 of
Okay,
them from last season, so
right.
inspiration's what? Is that advantage?
This will give you advantage.
All right, so here's throwing my shield. This one is cocked. I'm gonna re-roll this one. All right, so 11 plus throwing the shield is a plus 5, so 16.
16, and then did you add your inspiration?
What do you mean add my inspiration? I thought it
So,
was just
you have inspiration from having had this moment of insight from your god last time. So when you when you have this sensation to throw it, as it releases, as it comes from your hand, you can't just help but tell that there's almost like a streak of golden light behind it as it flies and hits true against the dragon's like the nape of its neck.
okay.
And go ahead and roll your damage.
So that's 1d8 plus 5, and I think I get an extra d6 from last time.
Yes.
So 5 plus 8 is, what is that, 13?
Mm-hmm.
Plus 3 is 16 points of damage. And as I do that, I yell at him, "Go for the cow, you dumb beast."
Okay. All right. The shield bounces off of the thing, and somehow, just from you just naturally knew how to kind of give it a little bit of a curvature. It bounces off and comes careening back to your hand.
I catch my shield like Captain America.
You capture your shield like Captain America. So you have now your shield is now imbued with your God's blessing, where you have 5 charges per day, where you can throw it and it will come back to you.
5 charges per day. Throw it, come back to me.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to write this down. I'm going to write down my Captain America.
Plus, it's going to do an extra. Let's give it an extra D6 of slashing damage when you throw it.
Just when I throw it. Okay.
Mm.
And I am going to run away.
Okay.
I'm gonna run up behind this tree and I'm gonna try to get behind this tree because I do not want to get blasted by ice
Okay.
again.
Yeah,
That's
it
what I
hurts. The ice hurts, so it is not cool. Finn.
All right. If you won't take the cow, I'll have to kill you. Don't be dumb, dragon. I have the high ground.
Oh my gosh.
Don't try it.
Yeah.
You were the chosen one.
You were the chosen one. Don't understand.
So I give him a chance to say, "Go down to the cow, take the cow, and leave us alone." What will you do, dragon?
Um, it's kind of reeling from that never having seen anything like a shield bouncing off of its hide, and it was a pretty hefty blow. It almost looked like you busted like part of the shoulder bone that attached to its wing. It growls in just complete disgust with this deep guttural and says, "You will pay," and it just lurches up and shoots off into the air.
Oh. Is everyone okay? Is it gone? Is it out of sight now?
He took off.
Um,
This young girl just collapses to the ground, just completely passes out, realizing the danger is gone. Her father runs up to her and is cradling her, just making sure she's okay. Alphonse is crawling his way towards Petunia, a little peeved.
so
And-
Shield comes down there and says, "Fen, go to the people. I'll take care of the cow." Derek says, "Alphonse, I'm sorry. I thought it was the only way. It was a dragon. You saw the dragon,
he's
right?"
like, "Be quiet, be quiet, be quiet." And he's looking at the bolt, just kind of get a general assessment of how bad it is. It doesn't look like it's severed any major arteries or tendons. The thing has a pretty thick hide. Uh, it seems a little more annoyed now than anything. Like the pain has kind of subsided as far as it's concerned, and it's sitting there chewing its cud. He looks at Barrick. Oh, damn it, man! You didn't have to shoot my cow.
So Shield says, "Alphonse, I can heal the cow if you think it would be necessary."
If you wouldn't mind, she is how I make my livelihood.
So Shield is gonna lay his trunk on the cow and give 5 points of laying on of hands to the cow.
Okay, the cow is healed.
And Barrick says, "I'm sorry that I couldn't see any other way to get rid of the dragon. I mean, what are we supposed to do against a dragon?"
It's fine, lad.
He says, I'm sorry.
Worry not.
I yell
He's
back,
alive. We're
"Send him
alive.
to prison! Send him to prison!"
Fenn's like, what the H, man? This seems unfair.
If I did that, this guy would show up out of nowhere and be pissed.
I didn't know what to do, Finn.
Eric panicked.
That was a dragon. It was a dragon.
No excuse. You don't just go off and shoot. Okay? Don't you know?
From now on, can we have Shield do Barrick's voice even if Mike is playing?
I'm sorry, Alphonse. I'm sorry it came to this, but if
he's frustrated, but he waves it off. It's fine. It's fine.
Raccoon's
It was a
so-
dragon.
not only
it was
sick,
a dragon.
he's also
It's
sick
not
in the
like
head.
It's not like
right?
it was some dumb gnome just walking around. It was a dragon.
Shield is going to heal himself for 20 points also, with his laying on of hands. I only have 15 points left, so he's gonna heal himself for 15 points because dang son. Say,
Like a
Finn, are the
blast.
people okay?
The girls passed out. She seems well. She doesn't have any wounds or damage otherwise. She's just exhausted from having been chased by a dragon. And the father is just weeping and crying and saying, "Thank you, thank you, thank you."
You're welcome. Where were you guys at? The dragon was chasing you.
We were just walking through, coming back from the northern area. We had family in Conneberry, and we wanted to see what we could find. We heard that maybe they had hit upon hard times.
That's the town that was abandoned.
And just right.
There's nobody there. They definitely did hit upon a hard time.
It was
They're all
it was
dead.
it was abandoned because it was ransacked. It was like,
Oh,
and so now his face falls and he seems devastated. Alphonse puts his arm on his hand on his shoulder and says, "Hi lads, your next best bet would be Fandolin itself. A little bit of a hoof, but if you wanted to follow us, we're headed to Falcon's Lodge." And the man looks at him a little incredulously. Is that even real? Is that a real place? He says, "Trust me, I know where he lives. Besides, there's nobody at my ranch, and Fandolin's a good couple days march from here. I don't think you and your lass want to be heading that way all alone, especially with what you just went through." So you now have a couple of other little wastes to take care of as you get to Falcon's Lodge.
what are their names?
His name is Cern, and her name is Laya.
CERN, like CERN,
CERN, Cern.
and Laya.
Laya.
Can't trust
L-I-A.
her.
How do you spell that?
Can't trust.
Lia.
What, Devin?
Can't trust her.
Yeah, she's a liar.
She's a liar.
Hiya.
She's a liar.
All right, so I suggest we get off this road. If Cryovane is flying overhead, I do not want to be here when he comes back.
Cern looks at you. What was that? What did you do?
How big was Cryovane?
Caravane is a young white dragon. He is a large creature, so he's a good 15, nearly 20 feet long.
How many hit points does he have, Barry? What are his weaknesses? And
That's a perk you need to unlock, the ability to
unlock
read.
that.
Yeah, to read.
AC is
Your-
16. So that
AC is not 16. You had a blessing, so.
I did. I don't know what that's the young white that's been. Oh, you mean the shield? That I don't know what that was, but hopefully we can be blessed by the gods again if we ever encounter Cryovane again. That I have
looks
no
at
word for.
Looks at the symbolizes, well, Torn be blessed, lad.
I hope Torn continues to guide me on this path. Let's get off this road, please, now.
Okay, so yeah, everybody agrees that everybody kind of pulls off to the side. Do you want to, as you travel, as you get closer to Falcon's Ranch, it gets less and less like a path and more like kind of have to know where you're going anyway. So it doesn't take long before you're in the thicks of the trees, and there's a large canopy overhead and quite shaded, and a pretty pleasant walk actually as you make your way deep into the forest. Excuse me. And it doesn't take very long before Alphonse puts his hand up and says, wait 1 minute." He just kind of stands there waiting patiently when suddenly, kind of out of nowhere, a young man who is dressed in some what appears to be, slightly camouflaged garb, kind of blending into the area surrounding him. He nods his head. Alphonse nods his head, and he just motions for you guys to follow.
Well, okay. Barrick and Shield follow. Barrick jumps on top of Shield's shoulder and follows.
Where you guys going? This on a different map somewhere?
Yeah, 1 second. We're getting there.
I think this is Falcon, Barrick, or Ben. I brought the wine that
There's
Harvin
so
told
ma-
us to bring
there's
for him.
so many maps. Okay.
Oh, you do have a lot of maps.
Okay. He leads you through a decently worn path. As you get closer to the to the to the ranch house itself, there's a clearing that is being slowly but carefully cleared away from the kind of the center of the forest. There's a really nice section of the river that flows through here. It flows from the south to the north. It's got a really well made footbridge. The logs that are surrounding the lodge itself are well kept, well maintained. Nothing looks like it's rotted or like it's been sitting there for such a long time that it's inoperable or unusable.
There's a dragon on the map.
There wasn't there?
So you said the bridge is unusable?
So the bridge is quite usable. It's well kept. Where is everybody else? Oh, you see?
Yep.
Two cows now.
Either. That didn't work.
Alphonse is multiplying. Alphonse, is this?
Alphonse is
Mimic.
a shapeshifting. Yeah. Mimic.
Alphonse, is this Falcon's place? Is
No,
that Falcon?
Welcome to Falcons. Who are you seeing? Hold on.
I'm not seeing anybody yet. I'm just asking Alphonse because he led us here.
Yep, this is his place. And so the guy that you were following heads to the gatehouse and walks up. Let me grab my token since I have this guy here. Says, "Follow me. Good to see you again, Alphonse. You're always welcome." He walks up, raps on the door, and eventually it's kind of this loud clanking and shuffling and kind of some grumbling as a little porthole slides open. What you got there? It's Alphonse and some visitors apparently. The door opens and there is another elderly man who was apparently going to look like Alphonse's twin, but ignore that.
Oh, okay.
And says, "Come on in."
All right. I say, Sir and Laia, I'll go ahead and go.
Okay. They kind of walk cautiously forward, but are somewhat in awe of the place. It's only legend to them, but they walk through. Corwin steps aside, who is essentially the caretaker of the ranch. Alphonse, who we're going to identify like that, also steps through like he knows everybody, just nods all happy and walks on in with Petunia in tow. And he walks around the edge of a building and is headed towards what looks to be like a area of stables and pens.
Okay. So I walk through, and as I walk through, I pull out the wine or the alcohol for Falcon, and I pass it over to him. I say, "Here, this is your favorite, and thank you for letting us in."
I'm Corwin, but thank you.
No, I patent it to Falcon over there. He's just below.
Oh no, that's not Falcon.
Oh,
Yeah, this is the guy that led you in. He's just a
Who's
younger
that?
man. He's just a younger man. He's just a younger man who walked you in.
Then I don't do that.
Okay.
I say, "Thanks for walking us in."
He just nods and then takes off to the stable area.
Falcon in? What do you know?
Corwin says, "Yeah, right this way." He's an older gentleman. Little you can definitely tell he's been He's been around for quite some time. It looks like he's seen his fair share of battles. He's got several scars all over his face. In fact, he has a chunk of hair line missing from what looks like a big gash. Something nearly scalped him at one point in his younger life that never really healed well. He says, "Follow me. Come on in." He tells CERN, you can lay that little lady down in there. There's a bunkhouse up there to the north. There's plenty of soft straw and cots and beds you can lay her in. She can get some rest there. So he walks in, disappears into this building to the north with his daughter.
The shield looks at Barrick and says, "Barrick, here, are you feeling all right? You're looking a little
I
lean around the
myself
ears."
am a little out of sorts. Maybe I'll go lay down, he says, now that I'm
But
speaking for him. Sorry.
And so Barrick says, "Yeah, I think I'll go lay down too." So Shield says, "I could heal you, but it won't be for another while. After getting hit by that blast from the dragon, I can't heal anybody right now, but I can later if you feel like you still need it." And I have to talk for Barrick too, huh?
Yep.
As Barrick says, "Yeah, that's fine." And he goes and lays down. He enters into this room.
Okay. So yeah. So he goes in there.
I can't see in there though.
I know.
After he goes
know,
in
I
there,
know.
I say, "There's nothing valuable in there, right? If there is, there won't be by the time he." Just letting you know.
Yeah. So, Corwin says, if the two of you want to follow me, I'll introduce you to the master of the house.
Sounds good.
Okay. I'll follow Fenn.
All right. So he's coming over here and enters through this northern door. So you are now in the bottom floor of a 2-story building, a large lodge that it's this massive, festooned, ruggedly opulent mead hall. Basically, there are tons of trophies all around the place. There is a upstairs balcony that also goes around the whole top of it. There, the stairs on your left there go up, and there's a whole nother seating area that goes up and around where the posts are. Corwin says, "Take a seat. I'll go grab him."
Shield sits down. Yep.
Okay. There
Fenn,
looks. Yeah, go ahead.
Shield says, "Fenn, I don't think we should ever fight that dragon head on again. At least for a while. We need to be way more prepared than we were
We
out
broke
there.
out that secret weapon from the.
I mean, I've never seen a dragon that close. I've never been hit by. I mean that. I was very lucky this day that I did not die on that road.
Eh.
Whatever we do, we need to do something different the next time we fight him. If we fight him."
No, we just throw him the raccoon and on a day. No, you're right. You're right. I think definitely we need to get stronger. Start pumping some iron, lift some weights or something. Training, maybe get a little bit better off.
Alphonse comes walking in from the southern door after putting Petunia in the pens. He's hearing your conversation. He's like, "That would be wise, lads. That I've never seen the likes of that. I'm surprised that you didn't just go down with the full force of that blast."
I did get. I was lucky this day. I don't know how much luck. I mean, eventually everyone's luck runs out, and that.
That's wise enough.
Yeah.
Wise words. No, we would do well to be, or you would do well to be cautious if you continue any further on these endeavors. I'm not going with you. I think I'll stay here.
And again, sorry about the wound to Petunia. I know Barrick was just trying to save everyone by shooting your cow.
But just tell him. He looked a little sick, a little peckish. Maybe whatever he ate at my house didn't sit well with him, but he sure seemed out of sorts.
ate your trash. That's
Again,
what
it
he
would
ate.
take really strange circumstances for anybody to shoot an innocent creature like that. No one would just
Yeah.
do that
I
on
sense
a
a
I mean,
whim, I'm
if he
sure.
did, they should go to jail, right? You know,
I know.
you don't want a
It is
person in
just,
charges, do you?
no one would ever be so petty as to do it just to teach a lesson. Anyway, so it doesn't take very long before Corwin comes back down the stairs and stomping his boots in comes a tall man, thick black hair, standing about 6 feet tall, wearing some real broad shoulders and just very comfortable and very sure of himself. Says, "Welcome, travelers. I hear you had a little. Sounds like you had a little run-in."
Can I make a perception check and see if there are any elephant heads in this trophy room?
You don't even need to make a perception check, but there are definitely no elephant heads in this room at all.
All right.
Yep. Rams, elk, deer,
Not
and
yet.
one bear.
Not yet.
Right. So he has these piercing blue, sharp eyes. He just again real sure himself goes and sits at the head of the table. Says, "Please sit. Tell me who you are and where you come from. I've not met the likes of you." Looking right at Shield.
Oh,
Shield.
so I said I am Shield, and I've recently come to these bars to see what good I could do. So Shield will take out the bottle of wine and pass it over to Falcon and say thank you for letting us in. We had a run in, and we definitely need a place to stay to lay low for a bit. I'm still kind of shaken up from the encounter on the road. We encountered a dragon.
You did.
I mean, it
You
wasn't
saw
anything
the-
we couldn't
you saw the
handle,
booger.
obvious. But
No, you seem to fare well enough. He's looking you over. Don't look too worse for wear.
you haven't seen our
Oh,
other companion. He soiled his pants.
I think any of us might have an accident like that faced with the dragon.
But
To be sure.
we do appreciate it, and we're actually coming. We need help. We're headed off to the logging. What is it? Logging. The logging
camp.
line? The logging camp
Yeah,
to see
but north
what
of
has been
here.
going on there. Do you have any news from the logging camp?
What do you mean? What's been going on?
The shipments have stopped to Fandolin.
Oh, have they now?
You don't know?
I'd be honest. I haven't been paying much attention to the dealings of the Wester brothers. But I wouldn't be surprised if Harbin's brother got tired of the tax imposed. He imposes on his own brother to ship those logs not only to Fandolin but to points beyond. Fandolin just seems to be the bottleneck that Harbin's able to kind of hold control over. He's kind of an annoying little man, if you ask me.
It seems to be a common sentiment amongst most people that we meet. So you've had no news of. I mean, do you get much news from anywhere? I mean, you have a fairly large camp here for just the few of you.
Yeah, we're kind of we keep out of the way as we'd like to not deal with the I guess the civilized way of doing things, as it were. You know, Harbin's a noble from Neverwinter. He imposes Neverwinter's taxes. He imposes Neverwinter's laws. He imposes Neverwinter's culture. He's an outsider.
And this is also my companion Finn. We've been on the road together for several days now.
Well
Hey,
met.
how's it going?
It's going well.
You have any gnomes
always-
around here?
No gnomes. There are a few south of Fandolin.
Oh, I know. All about that.
All I can say is what we've dealt with the most, what Corwin and my boy Pell have dealt with, have been a few orcs. Seem to be infesting the forest. We've heard of Cryovane. I've not seen the beast, although it looks like, and he kind of glances at a little bit of frost. It still even hangs on your armor now, but it seems like you've encountered him and survived.
I think I know him pretty intimately now, and what he can and can't, what he can do to a traveler, and even for being a young dragon. I can see why all the orcs are getting pushed out of the mountain.
Yeah, they're becoming quite a nuisance. I would imagine one of two things is going on at the camp. Either Tiber is tired of his brother, or they've dealt with what Alphonsus told me he's been dealing with or was dealing with before you arrived. The orcs, they're desperate. They are desperate. That dragon has, I'm assuming, has rousted them, has probably taken out their leadership, if you want to call it that, and I assume it's going to be a little touchy around here for quite some time. I have the advantage of being somewhat well hidden.
Yeah.
Falcon, do you know of the? Let me see. I have it here. Priestess of the Boar.
The priestess of the boar. You mean do you mean the denizens of Talos?
The denizens of Talos?
Look, orcs are one thing. Pious satanic orcs are another thing. Talos is this god that they worship. Um, and supposedly its symbol is that of a boar, a cursed boar, if you ask me. But they are, make no mistake, they're orc, and either a priestess or a shaman woman or something of that ilk. Nasty to be sure. I surely hope that those aren't what's driving or helping drive the orcs down here. What have you heard?
Only that the last orcs we encountered at Alphonse's place, they said that they followed the priestess of the boar and that she was going to rise up.
Well, now isn't that interesting? Um, yeah, no. Talus is a vile god, and he twists and turns his followers into half beasts and partial creatures. Uh, if you come across the likes of those, I'd steer clear.
Fair enough.
They weren't too hard to take.
Steering clear has not
You-
been our best.
You've
Great.
you said you've fought with the priestess of
Oh,
Talus.
well, not her exactly, but
Oh,
her followers.
well, yeah.
They
Orcs are
claim to be
orcs, but when you see these, they'll look a little bit different. You'll trust me, you'll recognize them for what they are.
Well, do you mind if we stay the night here? What time of day is it?
Oh, I don't mind at all. No, it's probably 3 to 4 hours after high noon, high sun.
Okay. Do you mind if we stay here and rest a bit before we head out in the morning?
Not at all. In fact, that's what I like to. That's what I do here. I've got a couple of different offerings for rooms. Um, I've got the bunkhouse up north. It doesn't cost you much at all. I've also got a very fancy deluxe room, which would be 10 gold a night for the amenities that come with it. Other than that, I've got some standard rooms that.
Oh, Shield doesn't need anything nice. He likes to sleep.
It is true. I don't need much.
What comes with that deluxe room?
It's quite the bedroom, to be honest. We spare no expense. There is a bath that can be drawn. There is a large, comfortable bed, plus other little amenities and quite private.
I don't need to go there. I'm fine sleeping at the bar.
Oh, we have the bunkhouse. You can easily take up lodging in the bunkhouse. They're simple beds, and it's a common room with with the rest of your companions and those you brought if you wish. No problems. I have no problem with that as well. That'll only cost you. That'll only cost you a silver.
Food?
We'll feed you. We'll feed you. Corwin's quite the cook.
Like it.
Okay, Alphonse walks up to Falcon, winks at him, and says, "I'll take that. I'll take that nice room." And Falcon laughs heartily and says, "I figured that might be the case." And he reaches into his pocket and tosses him a key. And he walks up like he owns the place, like he's obviously been here before. Okay. He says supper will be ready in about an hour and a half. If you wish to come eat in the dining hall with us.
Okay. So Barrick is gonna see that Fenn comes in. Barrick's gonna say to Fenn, so what's Falcon like? You Rangers share a lot of stories?
No. Pretty private. He's interesting. Got this nice place, but out his room.
Kind
I
of
opted to just
kind of a
hang-
strange deal, don't you think, Fenn? That a nice place like this out in the middle of nowhere that no one really knows about, rents out rooms. Kind of strange, huh?
So I opted just thinking, maybe there's some shenanigans. I don't know if I trust him or not.
You think it's that kind of place? Like,
I
what
don't
kind of
know.
shenanigans are you talking about?
I don't know. He might, cut off my head, put it on the wall. I don't know.
Oh, those. I was thinking. You think I should look around?
Yes, if you want.
Oh, I mean,
Got
I guess
dinner
I
in
could
an
wait
hour
till
and a half.
nightfall, but maybe after dinner, after I eat a little bit. CERN,
Yes.
you guys okay? Um,
Uh,
I'm glad the dragon didn't eat you.
we are also very glad.
So, what is that worth something to you that we saved your life?
Is it worth something to me? It's worth more than I can repay, to be sure, sir.
Oh,
Um,
never mind.
if you
Um,
wish, I can rustle something up.
no,
I'm
no, I was hoping that you were rich, and I like taking money from rich
Don't
people, but
worry about this panda.
never mind.
He's always
Did
out
our-
to take people's
did
money.
our-
Don't worry
didn't
about
our pheasant clothes give us away that we weren't very rich?
it.
I'm glad you're safe. Why were you
Well,
on the road in the first place?
Well, we were coming from the north. We're trying to, we've left Neverwinter. We're tired of living in the city or living in the streets. We're tired of living in the streets and making our way south. We hear these parts are a good place to settle and start over.
Yeah, might have been at one time before the orcs and the dragon.
Yeah, it sounds like we maybe came at the wrong time.
I think
Yeah,
so.
so why would you want to leave Neverwinter?
Well, again, we were gutter trash in Neverwinter.
Oh,
Oh.
well, hopefully you find your place here. I don't know if Fandolin would be much better, but I don't know. Good luck, I guess.
Well, if I can set my hands to farming or being a hand, whatever it takes to provide a better life for my daughter.
I
Well,
think there's opportunity. Right, Barrick?
Well, it turns out Alphonse just lost all of his hands to orc attack, so you could ask him.
Oh dear. Okay.
But we killed all the orcs though.
Oh yeah,
All of the
they're
orcs?
they're dead.
All
Well,
the ones that were here. I mean, we're going to. That's our goal, right? Go around and clear out.
Hey, both of you roll persuasion.
Got 18.
I got a 6 plus 5, so 11.
Okay, so the more you talk, Barrick, the more just dour and forlorn and depressed this guy looks. Like all his choices are mistakes. Like he's not done anything better for his daughter. Leaving Neverwinter might as well just been an urchin on the streets. But Finn does seem to be able to kind of ease him back into a little bit of pull him out of his existential crisis and make him feel a little bit better about what he's doing. At least he's in a safe place right now. That but the more Barrick talks, it's just cynical and dark and rough.
Yeah, don't listen or worry about what crazy little raccoon. Not really my friend, but traveling
It's not really
companion.
my friend.
Glass half full type of. There's no perfect place, but I think you could find a home and make something around here. But as he just did point out, might be able to work for Alphonse.
Well, maybe the proprietor here can put us to work. I don't know. I'm very tired. I'm gonna go to sleep now.
Right.
Barrick looks at Fenn and says, "You're kind of turning this whole thing around, aren't you?"
Hey.
That was a pretty positive spin coming from you, Fenn. I don't know if I'm impressed or if I need a drink, so I'm gonna go get a drink.
Look, not everything is negative and bad. It's our job, adventurers, to make things safe for people. They don't have food. Want to make their lives better. That's our.
Well, I know what it's like to live on the streets and spend time in prison. So, all right. So Barrick's gonna leave and he's gonna go get something to drink. He needs a drink.
Okay. And in the mess hall, or in the meat hall, both Alphonse and Falcon are just swapping stories. Alphonse has come back downstairs. Corwin is serving. What is Shield doing?
Shield is just sitting down eating also, but when Barrick walks in and he looks at the room, he goes, "You got a lot of animals on the walls here."
Um,
And he just says this in the doorway. He's just in the doorway.
this is Barrett.
Yeah, this is Barrick.
Okay.
You got
So Falcon hasn't seen him yet. Then
no. He
He
just says
goes-
it behind him.
yeah, he laughs. I do. I am an accomplished hunter. Once I find my quarry, I stick to it until I bring it down.
These elk put up much of a fight for you?
Oh, they have their own way of fighting, their own cunning, their own fight, if you will.
Yeah, you give them a chance before you shot them with a bow from 120 yards away.
I would say they have a sporting opportunity.
Yeah,
Not much
sporting.
of a hunter there. Tap pat
Yeah,
Barrick on the back. Seems like your kind of place. Looks like
Yeah.
he could probably use a raccoon. Pretty careful. I wouldn't.
would Falcon have turned
get
around
your
at this
hand.
time?
He hasn't even turned around. He hasn't turned around at all.
I want to keep your hands to yourself.
I think I'll take my food somewhere else. And so Barrick just turns around and walks out.
Oh, he doesn't even walk in.
No.
Okay, so Falcon looks at you. Shield says, "Was that one of your friends?"
He is one of our friends. Yeah, I don't know if walking into the room, with trophies on the wall sits well with him or for me for that matter. I don't know if you've noticed, but
More of a pacifist, is he?
he's more I'll talk to him later.
But so I apologize. My trophies bothered you.
I mean, yeah.
Do you
but,
consider yourself an animal?
some of my kind were hunted.
I
I mean, some for the ivory of our tusks alone
Tom
fetch
used
a
the
high
bathroom.
price.
You'd know for sure.
but you But you are an intelligent being. You have I can't imagine that. Was it your own kind that were hunting you down, or was it another? Was it other races? He is
Okay.
non-pulsed at all. He is genuinely interested, curious. He does not like. Not that he doesn't recognize the delicacy of the conversation, but he's also like very matter of fact about it.
I mean, I guess it really depends on, how you view the creatures that you're hunting. I mean, these creatures have intelligence. It's not as high intelligence as those of us here, but I mean, they're
That is
still
true.
intelligent creatures.
That's spoken like a noble warrior. I would consider myself someone who does not rape the land, as it were. I consider myself someone who is blessed to be here, who uses it as necessary, and does not. Uh, well, we watch the herds, we help the herds, we keep them from overrunning themselves and working themselves out of feed.
And I understand. I guess it would be similar as if you were in my part of the world and you walked into a room where, humans were mounted on walls
I think
for
it's a lot
sport.
different here. Uh, You
He
consider
he
yourself an
actually he actually.
animal.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It's a little different, right? So these deer and everything else, the elk, they can't really ride. I mean, yes, they have an intelligence, as you say, a small amount of intelligence for survival and whatnot, but they're not to the same level as your species or even Barracks. I mean, yeah, he's not too bright, but you know, uh, they can't rise up and make their own weapons and what have you, and carry on a conversation with you. But I think hopefully you consider yourself more than just a plain animal, such as elk, bear. Looks like all the way at the end there, and maybe a mountain goat.
Falcon looks very curiously between the two of you as you have this conversation, anticipating your response. Shield.
Because I guess it would be difficult to know when my ancestors, when their intelligence changed from those of these creatures to the high intelligence that we have now.
Gentlemen, we're becoming far too philosophical for the wine that you've brought me this evening. Let me just say
It's
this.
just like Shield. Ruin the moment.
I am glad I am glad to know your acquaintance. I hope my home doesn't offend you. If it does, I apologize, but you're always welcome to it as long as you're a good paying customer. Um, and but please drink and make merry. Tonight you have no worries, and you may rest if you wish. And I'm gonna grab a drink of water real quick. Hold on.
What do you think they're gonna feed us tonight, here, Shield?
Shield stands up and walks out. You ask him what he's gonna feed us. Oh man.
I guess
A little raccoon, a little elephant meat from up
yeah.
north.
Little animal meat, maybe. A little muscle
Oh man.
by chance.
Something with a little, yeah, it's probably a little gamey.
Yeah. I don't know how long we should stick around. Oh hey. Um. Maybe he can tell us what's Shield walked off. I asked him what was on the menu, what he thought was be on the menu for tonight. Tonight's dinner.
He didn't want to hear, huh?
He didn't want to know what we were eating.
Okay.
Guessing you have some kind of vegan soup or maybe
Vegan
some
option?
grass
You're looking for
for our
the vegan
elephant
option.
animal friend.
Just have lettuce.
We can whip up whatever your heart desires.
Get some elephant meat on tap, or
That I don't have. Nothing quite
Hey.
exotic.
me up with whatever.
You said
my heart
whatever your heart
desires.
desires.
Just straight up lied
That's
to me.
true. I
Sweat.
did
Now
say that.
You're
I
already
did say
lying to
that.
me.
Roll a perception
Like-
check.
Would you like a hearty stew or a nice salad? We've got plenty of meat and grog, some ale to be had.
I will just take bread, some cheese, simple meal.
Easily done. He goes and it doesn't take long before he comes back. Sets a nice spread of different types of breads, couple different cheeses, knives for cutting boards, things like that. It's just kind of a communal table. There are roasted chickens on platters in the center. There are a couple of shanks of boar and even a rack of ribs in the middle there. So it's quite a spread.
I
Vegetables and
I eat my meal and I put some ribs, pork, or on my plate. Back for to the barricade. Walk
You're
in.
taking your meal to go.
Yeah, I take some meal to go. So maybe Shielder wants some pig. And walk in and I say, "Hey, I got some ribs here and some wild boar. Don't worry." I talked to the cook. Spoke to him. And, okay, they were just fine. They didn't have much intelligence. But do you want some meat or do you need some salad?
Shield is asleep. He went to sleep right away. He's tired. He got hit by a dragon's breath.
I'm just talking to myself here.
just as a note, is Shield a carnivore? Is he an herbivore or an omnivore?
I don't know. I think just like as a side note, like character to player to player, it's just because they were big trophies on the wall.
Yeah.
And his people have been hunted before, so he actually eats meat. But
Gotcha. Just a little.
sometimes when you get attacked by a dragon, you're almost lunch for a dragon. It kind of gives you a different perspective of what lunch you're eating.
You're a little salty after.
Yeah, it's like I was almost lunch, and now there's animals that were lunch here. So
Definitely.
he's not against it. He just had a life or death experience.
Okay.
I'll go to sleep after. And I was like, well, I guess in sleep I'll eat this.
All right. What is Barrick up to as the night wanes?
Barrick wants to explore a little bit because of what Fen told him earlier. So he's going to go up to this. He wants to see if there are any windows that he can climb up and see through. He doesn't want to do it like right in the middle of the courtyard, so he'd probably sneak around on the outside of the wall. And
so the bottom floor, there are no windows along the bottom floor, but the floor up top, around the main house itself, there are several windows all around it. The lodge itself is this main edifice with the kitchen off to the west, and then a kind of a medium-sized tower that's on that western wall.
Okay.
That's stone tower that, as far as you can tell, it's 2 stories at least, and then looks like there are some arrow slits at the very top of it. So, however, whatever it would take to access it would get you access to these arrow slits at the top.
Okay, he is just going to climb straight up the wall.
Where's he standing? Right now, where he's at?
No, so he's going to come around to the back here, and he is going to climb up around on this backside, and hopefully you can see in somewhere.
Okay, so let's go ahead and roll a stealth.
So my stealth, I have a high stealth here. So where's my stealth?
High stealth?
So I have +5 stealth. So that is a 18 + 5 is 23.
Okay. That's gonna be definitely sufficient. So let's do this. I'm gonna put you over here at the top.
Well, where'd I go?
Right there.
So this is just at the top of the tower?
This is the top of the tower. You look in the top of the tower, there's 2 stools there. And then you could crawl over the top of the wall, and there are those 9 arrow slits just facing out that kind of give a good look out as to what's going on. You're still on the. I'm sorry. You're not at a point where you could jump in. There's one more level to the tower itself. So you're like holding onto the side of the wall, looking through one arrow slot, and you can see all those other arrow slots.
Okay. Then I'm gonna continue up to the next
Okay.
to the next level.
The next level. So getting up to the next level. Do you see that? Go ahead and move up there. Let me grab you.
Okay.
We can get you up there.
I got you.
Yep. And then you can jump off and on into the little area there, and you're now inside the top of the tower, or at least the top of the edge there.
This is a very fortified hunting camp. All right, so I'm going to go up to this door and I'm going to listen and I want to perceive if there's anyone on the other side of this door.
Roll some of that perception.
That is a 6 plus 6, so 12.
You don't hear anything.
All right, I'm going to open the door.
All right, you push it open, and in the circular part of the building, there is a series of stairs that go down.
All right, I'm going to walk down them stealthily.
Oops. Hold on. Stop it. Yeah, we'll keep your same stealth, and you come down to the second level area. Come around to the next door, and you can tell that this door would open into the top of the kind of where that balcony was above, like the above the dining hall.
Would it, and that was open to everybody?
Yes.
Hmm.
Like that. Those are the stairs Alphonse went up and then disappeared into to go find his room.
So there's more rooms up here then?
There are. Because there's rooms. There's more of the building above the kitchen area.
Okay. Huh. All right, so then I'm going to open that door. And I'm not going to be stealthy about it, because if it opens up to the landing, then...
Just gonna act like it was no big deal.
Yeah.
So you're gonna try to act like like you're nonchalantly coming out of the tower, like you've been there the whole time, basically.
I'm just gonna open the door like, it's okay for me to be here.
Okay. Push it open, and there's nobody up. There's nobody up top. So below, you would see the tables below in the center area. So
Okay, I see.
you hear the two companions laughing and drinking still. You kind of catch Corwin's head every once in a while as he passes by, picking up plates and kind of busting the table as the two continue to eat. There are even more trophies on this second level.
Any raccoons or elephants?
Only deer and elk.
All right. So I'm gonna actually continue. I'm just gonna walk over here to the door, and I'm guessing this is the door to. This is where Falcon came from, correct?
It is.
All right. I am going to listen and see if anyone is on this side of the door.
Roll it.
That is a 5 plus 6. That's an 11.
You don't hear anything.
All right. Are they engrossed in conversation down below, or are they looking
They
up?
are. They are definitely engrossed.
I am going to open this door. And I am going to slowly close the door behind me.
Okay.
And I'm going to stealthily try to open this door that I come up to.
It is locked.
I am going to pick the lock.
So go ahead and roll. Do you have? He has thieves kit, right?
I am proficient, and I do have a thieves kit, correct?
Okay. Roll
where
it.
does it show my proficiency with?
So it should have. You see the tools?
Yeah,
It
says I'm proficient.
Yeah.
So what do I?
So you're gonna roll it, and you because you have the proficiency, you're just gonna. So roll your sleight of hand.
Okay. That is a 5 plus 5. That's a 10.
It's a 10. Okay. You start to work the door, and it takes a little bit longer than you'd like it to, but you eventually hear the latch pop, and the door swings loose.
All right. So I walk in.
Okay. This is the deluxe room. The
Wow.
bath is there. The big, large bed is there, and it looks like some of Alphonse's personal items are also sitting there on the dresser.
All right, so I'm gonna recognize it as Alphonse stuff, and I'm gonna leave and relock the door behind me.
Okay.
This is not the office I was hoping for, and I'm gonna walk down to this last door down here.
It is also locked.
I'm going to pick the lock.
Roll that.
That is a 14 plus 5, 19,
You pop it easily.
and I'm going to walk in.
Okay. You enter a slightly more messy room. A footlocker at the end of the bed, a little dresser, and another chest to the south, as well as a very nice bear rug strewn across the floor, and then a fireplace that is not got a roaring fire in it, but has some embers and looks like it's tended well.
All right, I'm going to close the door behind me, and I would like to investigate this room for any type of papers or communications from the outside world.
So as you kind of traipse through the room, digging through things, you find a lot of personal effects. You see money, you see a couple of daggers, another little short sword. There's a few change of clothing in the chest at the foot of the bed. Not a lot. The room's just really untidy, but there are nowhere are you find any kind of parchment or correspondence.
Okay. I'm going to check to see if any of these windows are open.
The windows are latched.
Okay, I'm just going to leave, relock the door, and head out.
Okay. Which way do you head out?
I am going to just head out towards. I'm going to walk down the stairs and head out that way.
Okay. As you come down the stairs,
I do not jump on the table and start dancing. That's not something I do.
you come down the stairs. Falcon catches you in the corner of his eye. Corwin also kind of ponders you a little bit. Alphonse claps his hand and says, "Ah, Barrick, come meet my friend."
Beric says, thanks for letting us stay, but I need to get to bed. We've got a long road tomorrow. Thanks for the hospitality.
Oh, it's always our pleasure. Again, Falcon doesn't even look surprised to see you.
Yeah.
Corwin, on the other hand, is like trying really hard to not kind of hold back his look of shock at what he sees, but he regains his composure and continues to fuss over the tables.
Yeah, so Beric's just gonna walk. First, he's gonna say, "You got any bread?"
Uh, any type you'd like up here on the table.
Beric grabs 2 loaves of bread and says, "Thanks," and then walks out.
You hear him kind of heartily laugh as you leave. He kind of a surprised, hearty laugh.
All right, so Beric gets back in here. Says, "Fen, I didn't find anything. I think that maybe just the life of living out here has made them soft, and they don't really care about what's going on anywhere else."
They're all into their stuff going on, so they're weird. They're out here by themselves. Get a little lonely. Right. But I mean, it's good for the night. We'll get out of here and move on.
All right, all right. So Beric goes to sleep.
Okay.
Long rest.
Yeah, you're gonna do a full rest, a long rest.
You really need to stop almost dying.
Maybe someday. Excuse me.
You okay?
Yeah. The morning triangle begins to sound. Gling, 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 gling. People start to rouse. You hear a lot going on. The sun hasn't even quite risen yet. You do feel quite rested though. If anybody partook of any of the food, they feel really well. They feel like they don't feel famished or starving the next morning. Although there is definitely something on for breakfast. Smells like sausages and maybe some kind of biscuit bread that's being baked. And there's just kind of a little bit of not a hustle and bustle. Laya is not actually there when you guys wake up, and neither is CERN.
Hmm.
Probably eating breakfast. Go get some.
Um. Hmm. hmm. Barrick will go with Finn to go get some more bread.
Okay.
Shield's gonna stay in his room.
All right. So Alphonse is down already. He's eating heartily. Falcon is actually just kind of wandering around, picking stories. He comes over and he sits by CERN. He's talking to CERN about who he is and where he's from, just gathering stories and hearing how he's doing. And says, "You're more than welcome to work for me. I don't have a lot of work, but I can pay you honestly, and I can provide you the best that I can. I've got the bunkhouse. You and your daughter can stay there. Uh, my boy Pell could always use the help in the pens. There also is the odd patrol we do every now and then, as you well know. Orcs seem to be encroaching on our lands, but I will more than gladly take you on."
Well, sounds like you guys got some work.
Oh, he says, "Yes, I do. Thank you very much for bringing us here. It's more than I could expect. Where is Laya anyway?"
There when we woke up.
Oh, that girl. I apologies, Master Falcon. I will find her right away. He starts laughing heartily again. "Don't worry about it. There's not much trouble she can get herself into unless she leaves the walls, and Pell will make sure she doesn't go outside the walls."
Yeah, just a dragon and a bunch of orcs wandering around the forest. That's all.
Nevertheless, CERN leaves the room and is looking for his daughter.
So Barrick looks over at Alphonse, says, not Alphonse, but Falcon, you're the people speak of you pretty highly as a great hunter. So if Cryovane shows up, can we count on your help to slay the beast?
Well, I I would be glad to be rid of it.
Would
If
you like to add a dragon head to your wall here?
that would be quite the trophy, would it not?
So can we count on you?
I if ever I'm needed, we're gladly there.
Well, I mean, the people kind of need you. There is a dragon about killing people, so I guess you're kind of needed, right?
Well, I see what you're getting at, wise one. It is true. We're even though it seems like we're living a sedentary life here. Trust me when I say we do make sure that this part of the forest stays safe for those that need it. Um, I just because I don't deal in the machinations of the politicians doesn't mean I don't care about the people of this land.
No, I understand. I don't think the orcs care either about what the Westers do, but all right. Well, if the
Well,
dragon ever attacks here, we'll come help you, I guess.
I truly appreciate it, and if we can roust the dragon, or somehow, if you know how to incite him to come to us, and we could lay some type of trap, by all means. But it is a dragon, and you yourself, well, your companion at least said he nearly lost his life in barely facing. Fortunate the thing seemed cowardly enough to run off after taking one glancing blow. So maybe he's not as devastating a monster as we think he is.
Oh yeah, just a little dragon. No
I
problems
think
there.
if you just stand up at the top of your pan, cradle, and just here, dragon, 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 here, dragon, dragon, dragon.
You
I
you
get
are
the
the most fun I've had in a long time, my friends. I do hope you come back and visit again. And trust me, if the day is ever needed that I can lend my sword to bringing that creature down, I will more than gladly be there.
Yeah, we totally believe you. Do we believe him?
I believe him. This is a great breakfast.
roll a-
Let's get out of here.
Insight check.
Oh, you're rolling insight.
That's a 9 + 2. That's an 11.
He seems as sincere as he could possibly be. There's no real deception in his voice. And with your perception, it's you just feel pretty confident. He seems somewhat arrogant, but at the same time self-assured. Doesn't sound like he'd be someone who would totally abandon people, but at the same time isn't being very proactive.
At the same time, he did abandon everybody already and is here. So Barrett grabs 2 more loaves of bread and leaves. Oh, so, Alphonse, are you staying here?
Alphonse, yes, I will stay here for a while. He pats his belly, and just can't help but smile. I think I'm good for a while.
Yeah, you old warriors. You
Uh.
guys probably have a lot of catching up to do here.
But we'll catch you guys later.
We will leave the slaying of dragons to younger men.
Yeah. So as we get out, Barrick says, Finn, I hate everything about these people.
They're not too bad. They're not the worst people.
That's probably true, but I don't think we're probably going over to the. I don't know which way we're going. We probably should have asked directions to the logging camp.
I'll go
So
back in.
yeah, I'll go back in.
Hey, by the way, before we get out, you know which direction we need to go to get.
Indeed, we do. So you're going to follow the river, follow it north. Just keep going. Once you get to the fork, where it veers as you're following north, it's going to veer towards the east. Eventually, you're going to come to another fork that goes back to the north. Stay heading east. The camp is on the river, running east to west. That's how they send the logs down the line and to get to make their living. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Sounds.
Okay.
All the river north, stay headed east at the fork. Got it.
Yep. You got it.
Good. Later, dudes.
Later, bro.
Catch you later, guys.
Later, bro. All right. You've got about
You guys
only
going? We
20
gotta follow the river.
This is only 25 miles up. It's only 25 miles upriver, so you could, yeah, depending on whether you'd like to. Falcon doesn't really have any kind of watercraft. Besides, you'd be paddling against the current. If you wish to use any kind of flotation device to get down the river, or you can just follow the bank of the river the entire way, whichever you prefer.
We still have our carriage. Our carriage would be able to pass through here, right? Because we had our carriage that we took over to Alfonso's place, and then from Alfonso's place over here.
You've got that. But it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to float it because it's gonna try to float south naturally.
Oh, I mean, we would drive the. Is there not a trail?
There's a little bit of a trail. The trail doesn't follow the entire length of the, like it's not a perfectly worn trail the entire length, but it's enough to take the carriage. Trail going north.
They're both going north.
So actually, you want to go, but you want to go back across the bridge.
Okay.
I was like, why are they?
Yep, you want to follow the river.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Let's follow the river.
As you're walking out, Laya comes running across the bridge and she says, "Wait!" And she just kind of runs and grabs Shield's leg, hugs it really tight, and then runs off back into the bridge.
Aww. At least someone was grateful.
All right, let's get out of here. Enough weird crap's going on in the last 24 hours.
We meet some interesting folk, Finn. All right, so we get on this carriage and let's start this carriage ride going north.
All right. So again, it's about 20 miles. 25 miles worth of a journey. So at some point, you're going to need to rest. You won't get quite the full distance in a day, but you can get just about halfway there in a day.
All right.
The road is nice. It's a wooded road, so there's a lot of canopy cover. You know, the leaves that have fallen and the foliage that is built up is real soft and hasn't dried to a crisp, so it's not making a lot of noise. It's a very calm and peaceful path, actually.
Shield keeps his eyes to the sky, looking for dragons.
Okay. Roll perception.
That is a 9 plus 0, so that's 9. Real good.
As you're looking up, you're catching like glints of sunlight through your visor, and you kind of get distracted by just the beauty of this wooded path and this shadowy path. It's just too calm and peaceful to really feel like there's much of a threat.
Ben, do you ever think you'll retire, find a camp in the middle of nowhere, and just stick to yourself after all your campaigning is done?
No.
And just let orcs pillage villages nearby and not do anything?
No. There's some people that might do that. Not me.
Do you think we can trust them if we do need their help in the future? Do you think they would come?
Maybe. Probably reluctantly, but they would come. If nothing
I hope
else,
so.
to at least show face and say that they came.
Maybe Harbin really has burnt every bridge and the desire for anyone to help out the town because of Harbin Wester. Do you think it'd be different if it was someone else in charge?
It's hard to tell with that live such short lives, get upset, offended, and they don't have time to be offended when they still get offended anyway.
The humans seem to take particular offense to things, despite their short lives, as you pointed out.
Indeed.
Maybe it would be wise to remove Harbin and put someone with a little bit better perspective in charge of Phandalin if people do want to survive.
I vote for Barrick. We'll put him in charge.
You stop talking. I'm just gonna lay back. I'm gonna get some rest, okay? I've had a lot of bread.
It was a joke. Joke.
That was Barrick.
Oh, that was Barrick that's saying that?
Barrick and Shield sound similar right now.
Like, must be that grass you're both eating.
Yeah, sometimes, I don't know. Like, I don't mind hunting at all, but if you're just going to put, the heads of dead animals everywhere as like, hey, look what I did. I shot this thing with my bow, and it had no chance of defending itself. Like, hey, if there's dragons up on those walls, then I give you mad, then that's something to brag about. But deer, the bear, maybe. Maybe the bear was sick, though.
Maybe it's his way of honoring
Maybe
those
the
animals.
bear was sick.
Puts it up on the wall to remember them.
I mean, I don't think the deer, came up to his feet and laid down and died so that they could survive. I mean, there was a lot of shitheads in there, Fen.
His way.
I'm surprised the woodland elf, Rose, no eyebrows. How many eyebrows do you have? Do you have one eyebrow? Do you have two eyebrows?
I don't have a unibrow.
Are they clearly defined eyebrows?
Are clearly defined. Obviously, the best looking. And
well, I am a raccoon, so there's that.
But
I guess you have that on me.
It's not a big deal. I hunt animals. As long
You guys
as
are
you
chatting
show
amongst
them
yourselves,
respect.
and this banter is going, and you seem just so calm and collected by the path in general. Almost practically tripping over it, there is suddenly a rustle up ahead of you, kind of a quick skittering, and as you look ahead of you, there is a just a boar standing in the middle of the path.
On
It
2
has,
feet?
on 4 feet, a boar.
Okay.
A boar is
Animal.
standing there. Just a regular old looking boar. Although it is kind of transfixed by the sight of you. You startled it as much as it startled you, and it is just kind of glaring.
Hey, go on, boy. Get out of here.
It doesn't move.
Animals are dumb, right?
So do you think we should kill it and just mount its head on our wagon just to show off that we killed this boar then?
Yeah, that might be actually a good idea.
You could scare it away with your fireworks that you shot at that one lady at town. I'm sure she was impressed by that.
I saved those for special things.
All right. So Shield stands up and bangs on his shield. And he says, "Get out of here, boar."
Why don't
It,
you
uh,
declare that big schnoz of you?
it kind of it kind of backs away, like kind of shovels to the side, and eventually just turns and trundles off into the forest.
Shield grabs Finn and says, "Finn, the priestess of the boar. What are the chances that we cross a boar here?"
Probably pretty good.
So I would like to make a perception check into the forest.
Okay. You're perceiving. You can't see the forest for the
Yeah.
trees. Sorry.
That is a 3.
I
Looks
will
pretty foresty.
make a
It
perception.
looks super foresty with
My
a lot
ears
of
get in the way.
I
forest.
got 23.
in the
Oh,
forest.
dang. Devin rolls the 23
Plus,
and I
we're in
roll
the
a 3.
woods,
Awesome.
right? So
You're in your natural element.
With his 23, he goes, "This, you're right. This is a very foresty forest with a lot of forest things in it." It other than the boar just taking off, not on the trail, but what looks to be like, just a standard game trail you'd see. You don't really notice anything else.
I got a bad feeling about this. Shall we carry on?
yeah, I don't see.
All right, so we carry on. Barrick is going to keep a watch.
Okay. So, it's now nighttime. You are not too far from what's. I mean, you've reached the fork in the river, so you can continue heading east, or you can make camp here.
Oh, we should probably make camp.
All right, then let's go ahead and make camp. That's a long day's travel. Probably tired. So, Shield says, "I'll take first watch."
All right. What's your passive perception?
My passive perception is a 10 on Shield.
Okay. There's nothing really like that seems out of sorts during the evening. Doesn't take long for your end of your watch to just be time, and it's time for you to wake someone else up.
So then I'll wake up Barrick. I say, "Barrick, it's your turn for watch." "All right, fine, I'll do it." And then Barrick will watch. He has a passive perception of 21.
Okay. Same thing for him. It's just a pretty quiet night. He may have even dozed off a couple times during that.
All right, then he wakes up and he goes over and pushes on Finn, who's probably just meditating, I imagine. Finn, your turn.
My turn. All right. I saw you
Your turn.
sleeping, by the way. Don't.
You shut up. And he goes to sleep.
Let me get 1 second here.
Just watch out for those boars, Finn.
Dun, dun, dun.
Shoot him.
Will you mount them on your wall?
No, on the wagon.
All right.
My passive
you have a-
perception plus 10 while we are in the forest.
plus 10? You get a whole extra 10 while you're in the forest?
No, double, so it's 5. So it's plus 2 on the thing. So it's 10.
Oh, I got you. What's your passive perception, though?
5, but it gets doubled while we're in the forest.
Oh, over there, like on the... Oh, okay.
So Finn, because of that, nothing approaches your camp. Nothing ever makes a threat at all to your location. But you can definitely tell that that there are creatures every now and then rustling through. It kind of feels like you're being circled. That's kind of almost at equal intervals of distance and time when movement takes place. It does sound like a four-legged creature, but it sounds like more than one. Again, nothing ever moves in close, and nothing ever makes itself known, but definitely you are being either trailed or shadowed or followed, or all of that.
Also, I figured out what you're talking about. It's actually 15. It wouldn't technically be 30.
There you go. So
all right.
you're
So
like on spider sense at this point with the forest.
everybody wakes up. I'm like, nothing crazy happened, but I do think there are some beasts out there that are kind of circled around us, maybe watching us. Sure. So probably has spies. Got some conspiracy theories and crazy. As you think about other things, but nothing bad happened. Out. More boars come along.
I think that's a good plan. If the priestess of the boar can actually see through the eyes of boars, then I guess that makes sense if that boar just stood in the road, not moving, staring at us. Damn it, boars. Okay, we continue east.
Okay. You head east, following the river again. Eventually, it becomes pretty clear that you're getting closer and closer to the logging camp as you find glades and groves that have been leveled or cut down. It does look like they're being somewhat responsible and that there's replanting and things taking place. They're not completely just destroying it outright, but they are definitely you're getting closer and closer. The further you go east, the more obvious it becomes, till eventually the path kind of splits away from the river itself. It looks like there are a couple of little dams up ahead where they used to divert logs and to hold logs and those kind of things. So the path diverts away from the river a little bit and circles back in. And as it circles back in, you find yourself at the edge of this camp. There is a couple of large areas. What looks like there's where workers had tents set up. There are campfires that are no longer lit. There's obviously tools and the workings of an active mill off to the northeast. There is an edifice there that looks like it's got a bunch of logs behind some fencing and also has a hearth. But then in the center of the camp looks to be just a ramshackle, destroyed edifice that's been torn down, and it is completely eerily quiet.
Someone's mic is making funny noises, by the way.
Could you hear all that?
Yep, that's much better. Thank you. Eric says, I think we should tie the wagon up here before we just ride it into the middle of the town. What do you guys think?
Nice and quiet, but I'm sure.
All right, shall we split up and explore and figure out what's going on here?
Of splitting up. Haven't you ever heard those stories up how people get killed?
I'll follow you then, Finn.
I mean, you
Joe
guys
says,
both have a tendency to die.
Shield says,
to put
"I'll
it.
take
To
the
put
lead."
it. Yeah.
So Shield starts walking forward, Shield out, and walks up to these first sets of tents and starts to investigate what's going on inside these tents.
Okay, so as you
Oh, we're
do you
way
see
over
the
here.
map?
It had put
Oh,
all the way
sorry.
on the left side.
Little-
Like
I
what?
gotcha. All right, Shield. As you walk forward here, you get to about right there. Actually, the second you stand in this very spot, you feel the ground around you tremor and shake.
Oh.
There is a loud erupting noise as you do so, and bursting from the ground.
No! What is that?
Bursting from the ground and then rearing up on its hind legs, towering above you with these insect-like claws and these long antennae and mouth parts flailing about in front of you, is this massive bug-like creature who just pops out of the ground out of absolutely nowhere and lurches for an attack. To be continued.
No!
Bam.
Can it be to continued right now?
we can.
I
do
have
this.
time if you guys have time.
That's okay. Let's do it. Yeah, no,
Devin,
I'm
do you
down.
have time?
I have to get up and.
So you're saying yes?
I and the only reason I could say to be continued is there may be a lot more happening than just this.
I'm down to continue. It's up to Devin.
I think we should wait till go to bed.
All right. Thanks
Sounds
for
like
hanging
it,
out
you
with
know,
us,
this sounds like
everyone. It's been a lot of fun. I'm excited to fight whatever these creatures are. We've had a lot of ethical questions on the ethics of hunting. And
Very philosophical discussion happened tonight.
yeah, I think we solved all the problems. And until next time, I think, you know what? It's time to shut up and roll for initiative. And we'll see you later.
Right on. Good night, everyone.
it.